For all solar requirements, Fronius GEN24 Plus. Hello and welcome everybody to today's Fronius afternoon webinar. I want to kindly welcome you with today's topic all about our uniquely versatile Fronius GEN24 Plus hybrid inverter series. Okay, the team for today consists of me, so I turned on my camera for today. You can actually see me right here from Wels in Upper Austria at the Fronius headquarters in our trainings room. So my name is Kül Sandro. I'm from the team Trainings and Education, and my job at Fronius is to educate and train people. So I will guide you through today's webinar, which will take approximately 30 to 35 minutes. On the other end of the line, there is my colleague Michael Raunick today. So Michael is my team colleague. He is in Team Trainings Education 2, and he will support me today in the chat. So if you have got any questions during the webinar to the Fronius GEN24 Plus or Fronius in general, please feel free to ask them directly to us. So there is a question box in the GoToWebinar tool. So please feel free to type in anything you want to address to us. And Michael will also tune in afterwards, so at the end of the presentation, and point out the most interesting questions for us all. Okay, so let's look directly into the topic. So what do our customers want? I just want to quickly begin with that today. So give you a little bit of background information. What was really important for us, for Fronius, when designing and inventing the Fronius GEN24 Plus devices. So you know, all our customers have got different requirements. So there isn't one customer who is kind of the same for everybody. So all customers have got different life situations. They have got different jobs. They live all over the world as a global company and global operating. And so also the customer requirements are different. So you see here different pictures. So that's of course our main goal here at Fronius. We really want to cover with one central product with our Fronius GEN24 Plus hybrid inverter section to the greatest extent. All our customer needs, we want to fulfill them and even exceed their expectations. So therefore, our customers are looking for a green energy future. So we therefore want to provide them, of course, a reliable system. And with the Fronius GEN24 Plus hybrid inverter series, we also want to maximize the self-consumption levels of our customers. That means sector coupling. I think that's a term which is familiar to all of us. We really want to tackle different parts like the heating, cooling, the e-mobility in order to raise self-consumption to the max. Also, one thing which is becoming more and more important, it's also something we see here at Fronius, is energy independence. So that means battery, the battery inverter market is becoming extremely important, and also the backup functionalities of our GEN24 Plus inverters are much awaited and of course much appreciated by our customers, and therefore everything, of course, should be smart and intelligent. Customers want to have one compact system which includes all these requirements. And we want to guide all customers through their individual energy transitions. And our part here at Fronius as a solution provider is our uniquely versatile Fronius GEN24 Plus hybrid inverter series, which was successfully launched and is fully available in all its configurations. Let's have a look on it. So what's the Fronius GEN24 Plus hybrid inverter family about? So principally, we differentiate between the Fronius Primo GEN24 Plus, which is a single-phase hybrid inverter, and we have got the Fronius GEN24 Plus, which is the counterpart in the three-phase markets. The primer GEN24 Plus is available in power classes 3 to 6 kilowatts, and the GEN24 Plus is ranging from 3 to 10 kilowatts. You know, for the GEN24 Plus, we expanded our product portfolio also in the smaller power classes. So we are now fully available also from 3 to 5 kilowatts. And all of this GEN24 Plus inverter family, so both together, are equipped with 2 MPPTs and 1 separate battery input, where you can connect a DC coupled high voltage battery to it. Okay, our Fronius GEN24 Plus is already very, very famous, so we are very, very proud and pleased that we could win many, many national and international awards already. So you see here just a few listed up what we already achieved with the product. So I just want to highlight maybe here the Intersolar Award, which we won in 2020. And also very, very important to us, and which fulfills us with pride, that's the Energy Storage Inspection 2020 and 2021. We have both time achieved the first place, and I think this Energy Storage Inspection, which is an independent study all across the PV industry, really underlines the greatness of the Fronius GEN24 Plus and its uniquely versatility. Let's have a deeper look, which I point out now in today's international presentation, is the Fronius Primer. So I will have a closer look on the Primer GEN24 Plus. You know, that's the single phase hybrid inverter ranging from 3 to 6 kilowatts, which has got 2 MPPT inputs. That means 2 MPP tracker, one, I would say, strong MPPT with 22 amps, and the second PV2 with 12 amps. The battery input is then with 22 amps, and as I already mentioned before, you can connect a DC coupled high voltage battery to this battery input. So we really want to focus on the self-consumption. So that's really the perfect inverter if you want to achieve highest self-consumption ratios. Therefore, we really want to use the maximum energy ourselves. So we really want to make use of the surplus energy. We do not want to kind of give them away for free and feed it into the grid. So we want to consume the most of it ourselves. And of course, we have got many byproducts, of course, to the Fronius GEN24 Plus, where we have got the full compatibility. You see here 2 pictures. One is the Fronius Ohm Pilot, you can see here, and also brand new, the Fronius Watt Pilot. That's the e-mobility solution from Fronius, where you can also integrate another sector which makes the puzzle complete. That's electric vehicles. EV charging is now perfectly combined with PV. Charge your EV with PV with the GEN24 Plus hybrid inverter. Also very important, of course, is the storage solution. So as you might know, we are fully compatible with our strategic partner BYD. So with the BYD battery box premium HVS and HVM, that's the power duo for storage solutions. With BYD, we rely on a very secure cell topology. The batteries are lithium iron phosphate batteries, which are generally considered as very safe batteries. And they are really, really easy to install and commission. So it has got a modular system, which is depending, of course, on the battery type. ranging from 2 to 8 modules. It's just a simple plug-and-play solution. So if you have done it once, that's really, really easy. So you can't make anything wrong. And which of course is another big benefit of this BYD battery box. The maximum storage capacity for one tower is up to 22.1 kilowatt hours. That would be possible with the BYD battery box premium HVM. Please all the time keep in mind the compatibilities. So if you choose one inverter type, please be sure to check whether if it's compatible with the battery type you have chosen, that you do not kind of have any troubles when commissioning or setting up the system. What is really, really good also, it's retrofittable. So at any time at a later stage, it's possible that you kind of add another modules. So we have got 2.6 or 2.8 kilowatt hours steps, depending on the battery type. So easily expandable at any time, and also easy installation. I think I mentioned this before. This is a key benefit, of course, of this combination, which was already highlighted with this energy storage inspection with highest efficiencies. What's also news here is since quite a while we are able or capable of running a parallel operation. That means with our Gen24 Plus hybrid inverter series, we are able that we can realize a storage cascading. So it's now possible for you to interconnect up to 3 towers of BYD, up to 3 storage units. And this enables, of course, higher storage capacities, which is then at the highest capacity will then be round about 58 kilowatt hours of storage capacity with one Gen24 Plus and 3 batteries. That's of course a major step for us, also not only in the residential scale, that if we talk about 58 kilowatt hours, we are going more and more into small commercial systems, which you can easily then also realize with this bigger battery bank behind with our Gen24 Plus series. And also with this storage cascading, we have got the full backup version. So that means you all the time have the possibility to activate the full backup in combination with a battery. It means if there is a grid failure, that your entire household is supplied with real three-phase backup power. And this once again highlighted our big wins in the energy storage inspection. So in 2020, it was the Simon Gen24 Plus with 10 kilowatts who won in combination with the BYD. And in 2021, so really latest news for you today, it was the Primer Gen24 Plus who won the 5 kilowatt reference case. And we, of course, are very, very, very proud of that. That underlines this high yields, this high efficiency, and of course, which means for you and your customers fastest profitability. And that's, of course, also a major thing when it comes to PV installations. Standardized on board, we also have our so-called Fronius multi-flow technology. That means with respect to the Gen24 Plus, this is really the energy center, more or less, of each household. And our inverter can handle simultaneous energy flows. So like you can see here in the image, the inverter, the Gen24 Plus, AC and DC coupling is possible. So that's also another key fact of the multi-flow technology. And you see here this simultaneous energy flows really well demonstrated. and you make optimal utilization of the energy. That's a key fact of the Fronius multi-flow technology. You see here one system. I will also demonstrate you. That's also, I would say, a common case also here in Austria, so that customers call you which have got an existing PV system. It must not necessarily be a Fronius inverter, can be any other third-party inverter as well. And there is also, of course, any time to realize AC coupling, which you can see here. You see here on the AC bus of the already existing inverter, we now install the Fronius GEN24 Plus, maybe with a battery, maybe with a PV generator extension here. And then also multi-flow is available. You see here all the energy flows, so all directions, all simultaneous flows are done or are centralized, done by our Fronius GEN24 Plus inverter. Okay, then another very important topic is safety in case of grid outage. So I mentioned before, we have got very inexpensive backup power solutions for you. So we have got a so-called PV point standardized integrated in every device. That's the so-called basic grid backup power connection, which gives you on one point within the household energy if there is a grid outage, and which is standardized in the device, so you do not have any additional costs you have to take. This is possible for you. I will also show you more on this so-called PV point. So important, it's only supplied in case of a grid outage. You see here, it's generally one socket within the household. And if the grid fails, this socket gets kind of activated and you can supply electric loads up to 3 kilowatts on a long-term single phase with this one socket, the so-called PV point. And the good thing about it is you do not need additional installation, so you do not need additional switchover components. That is everything integrated in our GEN24 Plus. So you just have to install a PV point and activate it, and then you can make use of it in case of a grid failure. That's also a scheme I want to show you how it works. The PV point is also in combination with a battery possible. Then you also have this socket supplied during nighttime. Of course, if no battery is installed, the PV point is depending on the current energy which comes from the PV generator and would not be available during nighttime. But in this configuration, you see it here, easily explained. So that would be the standard case, grid failure during daytime. And also, if you would have installed the battery, Fronius multi-flow technology hits again, you can recharge the battery and also give the energy from the battery to this single socket in the house of the PV point and supply your most critical loads, which can be a fridge, which can be your mobile device or whatever. Okay, that was the basic grid backup power function. What we also offer here is the maximum backup power. So that's the so-called full backup. That's the second option you can take, which enables you real three-phase backup power, and you have got an overall supply of the entire household if you decide for the full backup. What is important for the full backup? So for the full backup option, you have to choose whether the primer GEN24 Plus 3 to 6 kilowatts or the Cymer GEN24 Plus from 6 to 10 kilowatt. You have got, of course, a maximum supply of the household, and you can also configure an automatic switchover. So that means you need an additional installation, you need a switchover component at the feeding point, which takes approximately 30 to 60 seconds, and where the customer detects this grid failure, and then the inverter builds up his own network. He is then the grid builder, and he supplies all loads within the household, so also single phase and three phase, and you can then also have the maximum energy consumption also within your household. That's again the scheme of the full backup. Now you see here now a big difference here, the switchover component. That's not something which is inbuilt in the inverter, so that's a separate device you need. And then this happens, so the grid fails, so the connection to the Fronius smart meter is lost at the feeding point, and then the inverter detects it and ramps up in full backup mode and can supply all the household loads, recharge the battery. Multi-flow is applicable again. That's the full backup option you can choose. Okay, so much to the full backup compatibilities. Another important thing is also third party and e-mobility. So with the GEN24 Plus, we have got many open interfaces. When it comes to home automation systems or maybe also other EV charging stations, you can take the open interfaces. So we supply Modbus TCP, Modbus JSON, Solar API. So all these standardized protocols are supported by Fronius. There is a checklist on our webpage where you can all the time see the checked compatibilities, which was already proven by our R&D department with different third-party components. And you see here this communication interfaces I already mentioned before. So this is also standardized, integrated. We have got this data communication unit in our GEN24 Plus inverters, where you can have LAN or Wi-Fi, all the digital I/Os, and also Modbus RTU and Modbus TCP Sunspec Alliance, as well as the Solar API JSON protocol. Yes, and that's of course a major thing when it comes to energy management. So we have got really high intelligence in our inverters, and we really want to make it as efficient as possible. And that's also possible due to these open interfaces I mentioned before, and also load prioritization and system monitoring. So the Fronius GEN24 Plus, and in combination with the Fronius smart meter, which is also a key essential, this Fronius smart meter at the feeding point, please do not forget to install it. When it comes to all this energy management functions, to battery and all to this system thinking, this Fronius smart meter is very important to have this information. Yes, let's just have a brief look on planning and design. So we have got also our Superflex design on board with the Fronius Primer GEN24 Plus. You see here in detail, these are all the power classes which are available. So ranging from 3 to 6 kilowatts in different steps, which is available. What is important, we have got a very broad voltage range. So actually strings from 3 models on are configurable. You see here the MPPT voltage range is really low. So beginning from 65 to a max of 530 volts DC, that's the MPPT voltage range. And the maximum DC voltage is up to 600 volts DC. The MPPT currents I already mentioned, and important to Superflex design is also the DC-AC ratio. It means 150% of over-dimensioning on the DC side are possible. It means, for example, if you have got the Fronius Primo 3.0 Gen24 Plus, you can put up to 6 kilowatt peak on up to 4.5 kilowatt peak on the PV generator side. That's the 150%. Okay, and also often customers ask me also in our trainings regarding shade. So what's if I've got I don't know a shimmen or whatever, a partial shading due to a tree or whatever. So please don't care about that. We have got here technology on board. So all our Fronius Gen24 Plus devices for this partial shading scenarios, we have got the so-called Fronius Dynamic Peak Manager on board. So that's the inverter integrated shade algorithm, so shade management. So we really optimize on a string level. That's actually what the Dynamic Peak Manager is capable of. And we really avoid these components at the module level. So we really want to keep it simple, reduce the contact points, connection points, and also reduce installation work. And we can also guarantee highest yields also during partial shading scenarios. And this is possible thanks to our Dynamic Peak Manager. So I've prepared a very short video to you, which I will show you here how it works. So that's a technical explanation. The Dynamic Peak Manager always looks for this GMPP, that's the global maximum power point. You see here, that's the current and the voltage curve, which is, of course, actually changing throughout the day and in case of a shading. And what you have seen here, we really all the time look for this GMPP, which could be sometimes different to the local maximum power point, and that's the technology behind. So therefore, we can guarantee without sensitive power electronics behind the modules, also fabulous yields throughout the entire year. What's also very special or needs to be mentioned is, of course, our active cooling concept. So as maybe some of you already know, also in the Fronius Snap Inverter, we have got our active cooling technology. We even improved that for Gen24 Plus. So we also have here active cooling on board. You see here this very prominent heatsink of the Gen24 Plus, and the radiator in the middle. Means with this active cooling technology, of course, we have got a longer lifespan. Sensitive power electronics needs to be cooled, and if it's cooled and it's in, I would say, more or less normal operating conditions, we have got this extension of the lifespan and also more yield. That means we can go up to higher temperatures before derating, and that makes it also more flexible and easier for you in the installation. Okay, so coming now to the very last point, or one of the last points of my presentations, installation. So I will not go into detail about that because I think that's really, really easy. So, and the pictures are kind of self-explanatory. You see here, we have got a really fast installation practice on the Gen24 Plus, just a lightweight wall bracket, which is in every Gen24 Plus standardized X Factory. Then we have got the inverter as a whole. It's simply snapped in, and then you have got the very fast access with 180 degrees fast locking screws and all the spring connections. So no complex tool, no complex torques. So just open this Vago clamps and directly connect the cabling to the inverter and plug it in again. So I think it couldn't be easier with our GEN24 Plus. That was the installation. Also commissioning got very easy. So we have got launched our new commissioning app, which is so-called Fronius Solar.web. You can find them in the app stores. So you can use it for commissioning of all Fronius devices, so of all our inverters. And with this commissioning app, so just give it a try, look it up. It's called Fronius Solar Start. I can guarantee you the easiest commissioning on the market because I also did it myself already several times with Solar Start, and I would say in 5 to 7 minutes the inverter is commissioned and ready for operation. You see here how this is done. A quick video for you, the installation and commissioning in very short time period. So I hope this video gave you a short overview. I know it was in German, but sorry for that. But I think it was also just to give you a rough overview how it is done. So just download the solar.start, and I think you can also do it within a very short time period. Okay, and when it comes to monitoring of the GEN24 Plus, we have got also the top system monitoring. So you know we have got the Fronius Solar.web portal. That's our monitoring platform. That's of course also fully available for the Fronius GEN24 Plus. So you have got really advanced analyzation tool and visualization. That means you can also use Fronius Solar.web as a service tool, for example, remote update and also automatic notifications if there should be some things or some deviations. And when it comes to Fronius Solar.web, I can repeat myself once again. The Fronius Smart Meter gives you, of course, all these advanced views and functions, and the Fronius Solar.web is in its basic version completely free on board. Okay, and the very last thing is also the unique service concept of the Gen24 Plus. So we have got the fastest service on the market with our Fronius system partner network. So we really want to mention there is only one trip to site necessary, because Solar.web gives you so much possibilities with troubleshooting and all these notifications, so that one trip to site is sufficient if there should be a service case. And we really want to focus on fast solutions, because fast solutions means satisfied customers, and that's something we want to achieve. Also, safety first. Safety is also, of course, very important for us here at Fronius. So that's also something which is available for the Fronius Gen24 Plus devices, Primo as well as SIMO. It's a DC SPD surge protective device kit. So if an SPD is required, we have got this type 1 plus 2 SPD in from Fronius, so that's possible. You can order from your wholesaler and then build in into the device directly below the DC terminals, and these ones are compliant to all the regulations and normative requirements. It means this retrofit kit is available. I also put the item number in it. You can order it X your wholesaler. Okay, and let me quickly summarize before we hand back over to Michael. So we have got, as you have seen in our presentations, a load of features and functionalities. We have got the Solar.web, all these backup power functions, the multi-flow, which all the time comes into the game, and of course also easy, fast installations, as well as all this active cooling and its design advantages. Also when it comes to shading, partial shading with the dynamic peak manager, all the things are packed into one device, and that's the Fronius Gen24 Plus hybrid inverter, which has got all these features and functionalities included. Okay, so I have come now to my end. Before I close, I also want to quickly hand over the words to Michael and ask him if he received any questions and if he can point out the most interesting ones for us. Michael, can you hear us already?
Yes, thank you, Sandro, for the very interesting webinar. And of course, we received some questions from you guys during the webinar, which I want to cope with. So first question is about the difference of the HVM and HVS variant of the BYD battery. So what are the differences there? First of all, the HVS system, that is more for a power usage. So the more power you need, then you will switch to the HVS system, whereas the HVM system is more for the capacity needs. So whenever you need more available energy, then you will switch to the HVM system. So depending on your needs, if you need high power or high capacity, you can then either switch to the HVS system or to the HVM system of the BYD Battery Box Premium. For more information, you can also watch our YouTube webinar. This is already available on YouTube, and there you find all the details and detailed information about the battery system, about the BYD Battery System Premium. Yeah, furthermore, there was a question about the maximum available capacity of the battery systems when you mark them in parallel. So first of all, the maximum capacity is 3 times the 19.3 kilowatt hour battery system. So for the maximum battery system size, there is available 75, so 75.9 kilowatt hours of the capacity, and this is possible to achieve with 3 towers of the BYD battery system HVM, the 19.3. Yeah, so these are some of the questions I want to sum up here. And of course, one last question I have. So the question is about the commissioning question. Is it necessarily to do the commissioning for the customer? And there the answer is of course yes. So please, whenever you do the first commissioning of an inverter, please make sure that you as an installer do the full commissioning of the system. So commissioning all the way through to the Solar.web, bring the inverter online into Solar.web, and after that you have brought it online into Solar.web, then you have the possibility to transfer the system to the customer's account, and then you can give the customers the rights for the system owner, and then yourself you can stay as the technician of the system, and therefore you have instantly access to the system. But please make sure to always do the commissioning for the customer so that the customer doesn't have to do it on his own. Okay, so that was a little hint about the questions. And of course, if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask us these into the chat. And we will now stay online for a few more minutes and answer your questions. So whenever you have some questions, please feel free to ask us them. Okay, so for the final words, I want to hand back to my colleague, Sandro.
Yes, thanks a lot, Michael. So I see also some questions now incoming again. So we will just turn off the cam now and my mics, and we'll then directly go into the chat and answer your questions. I want to personally thank you a lot for participating today. I hope you learned something about our Fronius GEN24 Plus devices today. For the future, I can strongly recommend you, if you're interested, to just check our homepage. We have got planned massive new online trainings and webinars and also presence trainings in your area to our uniquely versatile GEN24 Plus, but also our other new heroes. So just check the trainings program, and I think there is something included for everyone. Okay, I come now to an end. I wish you all the best. I wish you a good evening. Please stay fit and stay safe, and we hear and see us again, hopefully very soon. Thanks a lot and goodbye.